Welcome to the Less Doing podcast, where you will learn how to start living more by doing less.
Let me help you optimize, automate, and outsource your entire life so you can focus on doing the things you love.
Now here's your host, Ari Mizell.
All right.
Okay, so again, welcome. So we've got Hnilo of Alitura Naturals here. And this will be a fun episode. So we're doing this on Facebook Live. For those of you who are listening in your car on your podcast, make sure to subscribe and check out the other episodes that we have at the Less Doing podcast. But what we're going to do is we'll talk about Andy's story and about the product and how it's come to be. And then I really want to focus the latter half of the episode on consulting. So we're going to talk about, because it's a fast growing company, Andy's got a small team, which we're going to hear about. And I'm going to give some advice that I think in terms of outsourcing, optimizing, and automating everything that he can do to continue to grow this company. So with that, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Thanks for
That's
coming.
Cool. It's happened all pretty quickly. I was speaking to my business partner, Dave Asprey, who really just launched or helped me launch Alitura Naturals in 2014. So I was, to tell the audience out there, I was in a large accident in 2011 when I was hit by a westbound heading vehicle that hit me into the eastbound lane. I was in an ICU bed with a compound fracture in my jaw. I had 7 broken ribs, a collapsed lung, and just extremely banged up. I had a lot of swelling, and the left side of my face was just in pieces. So luckily they put me back together, and I had a titanium plate inserted on top and then one on the bottom to help the bone grow back.
What was your profession at the time?
I was in the entertainment industry at the time and just doing service industry work as a bartender, and which I loved, and I believed I was going to make it, but I was just waiting for the phone to ring. I didn't have any control over my what I was going to do. I was waiting for other people to call me, and I was putting in the work, but it just wasn't. It was happening. I was working a good amount, but I wasn't passionate about it. I wasn't passionate about putting in the work that you have to do to be successful in anything.
Okay.
It was like homework for me. If I got an audition for a young dad role or something like that, it's not as exciting as like an athlete role, which I played baseball my entire life, and it's just different from that. And actors, that's what I admire about actors, is they enjoy the creative process for the most part. The people that I know enjoy the creative process of becoming that character and really studying and creating a story for that character. And I didn't like doing that, and I'm right where I'm supposed to be right now, that's for sure. But I went home after leaving the hospital, and I didn't want to use the creams and serums that my surgeons were recommending that I use to accelerate the healing of my scarring and abrasions. So I just did my research, and I didn't want to leave the house, so I had a lot of time just to put things together, melt butters down and different ingredients in a cast iron pan, which is now my night cream. I'm serious. I mean, it's just I was doing a lot of research from different extracts, essential oils, cold pressed oils, clays, things like colostrum. I mean, so I was hitting my skin cells from the inside, like building my body back for in my recovery process through a tonic that I made, and then also products. So my jaw being wired shut, I couldn't eat too much. I couldn't eat at all, period. I mean, these first 3 teeth on the left are they're all bonded in because they were just like nubs from concrete hitting them. Serious. It was pretty bad, but I mean, I went back with just the intention of accelerating the healing, and I didn't like feel bad, for myself, and just kind of wanted to just accelerate. I took it as a challenge just to accelerate and get back better than I was before, in better shape, and just feeling, getting my zest back, because antibiotics, it'll just drain you, So I was on antibiotics to make sure that I didn't get an infection from the inside on the break of my jaw. But I just health and wellness became extremely important to me, and I became obsessed, and that passion and obsession just led to an absolute purpose. So. And then, Dave found out about my story, had me on his podcast. He told me you were on. We just went in there to talk about nutrition, kind of in resilience, and how that that just helps. And a lot of people can relate to being down and out. And I just shared my story, and then towards the end, I mentioned this mask, this nutrient dense clay mask that I was putting together in my back room, or my bedroom actually, that I turned into my lab. I moved everything out of my bedroom into my living room, made my bedroom like a little lab. I bought a mud mixer and started throwing things together. I mean, when
a mud mixer?
A mud mixer from Home Depot. Yeah, they're little Nikita like.
Oh, like serious? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It has a little drill bit, and I was just sitting there. It was my little creative outlet. I put on one of those this little mask, little thing for my eyes too, and I started going to work, and I had these like windows all around, and I would roll up the windows, and it was extremely therapeutic for me because it was like a little mountain range to look at, and I would make these masks, handshake them before that, and then blend them, and then I would start handing them out to friends who saw me in the ICU and were completely blown away that I was recovering really quickly. I mean, the abrasions were gone within 2 weeks. The scarring had been significantly reduced, and I was feeling good. I mean, obviously, there was a lot of swelling that just takes time. You can't speed up that type of physical trauma with anything, So it's, but yeah, I mean, 3.5 years later, we're in 76 countries, and we have 14 SKUs that should be released, 14 products that should be released by May. They're done. It's just kind of, you want to space out the time in your product releases.
So what was the timeline of like the accident to, other than I guess the inflammation, like full recovery?
Full recovery. Well, I'm still going through it a little bit. I severed a nerve right here that communicates a lot of...
when was this? When did it happen?
The accident was March 20th, 2011.
Okay.
And we're coming up on 7 years. But it's just, it's getting a chance to, I'm sure you can relate. It's just finding something that you're extremely passionate about. It's not really, I know it's such a cliche, but it really does not work to me. I wake up and it's just, 60 seconds doesn't go by that I don't think about how to optimize my business. And that's what made me think of you and just how to turn up just certain areas it's my baby. And I'm still a little too involved with my employees. I'm still butting in on certain customer inquiries, and I love that though. I mean, the only reason you have a business is because you have a customer. I mean, I treat them perfectly. It's something I can control, and why not, optimize that? I mean, I just don't want to screw that part of it up, but that's part of the reason why I want to meet with you is because hiring has been difficult, and so I wanted to get just anyone's advice out there. And I've never hired before. I mean, I fell into the entrepreneurial side of things and running a business, but I just want to learn. I'll put in the work to optimize every part of running a business and how to just streamline things and do things that I'm best at. And I'm not the best at setting up customer emails and stuff like that. But copywriting.
And we're going to dig into that for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk about where the business is now. So you launched officially in 2012?
June 26, 2014.
Okay.
Launched and yep.
And what did the launch look like? Was it in the store? Was it online? What did that?
It was, so Dave, we put it on a Shopify storefront, and then also Dave put the mask on his Bulletproof site as his first Bulletproof approved skincare product. And so that was huge. That was really good getting, because it's such a trusted following, and his attention to detail and ingredients. I mean, he wouldn't put anything on there that he didn't really believe in.
Well, let's talk about the ingredients of that. So this is the mask, is the big one over there?
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's clay mask right there.
So now, let's talk about what the ingredients are.
Right.
So, and what the benefits of a clay mask are.
Sure. So I had been doing a clay mask before for when I was still in the entertainment industry, and just to look and feel my best before an audition. And that consisted of 4 different clays that are still in there, vitamin C and organic kelp powder. And then after the accident, I just turned that mask up because of just doing a little research on growth factors and vitamin C and just the topical potency of vitamin C in regenerating skin, as far as like accelerating cell turnover, at things like pearl powder and American ginseng, building that blood and increasing circulation to the surface of the skin while lightly exfoliating and then hitting that freshly exfoliated area with really dense ingredients like the colostrum, like the kelp powder and the pearl powder that the geisha's been using for centuries just to even out skin tone.
So pearl powder is not something I've been aware of. Is that supposed to be like a mild abrasive?
This right here, the particles, you can get the particle size to where it's almost it's a little granular where it provides a mild exfoliant, but mine is very smooth. It almost just dissolves. It's in there. I put it in there for the smoothness of the smoothness effect for the skin, but it also provides a mild bleaching effect where it just really eradicates sunspots. It's amazing for evening out skin tone but mostly the smoothness, the smoothing effect. I mean, it's one of those things you can just put in your hand, empty out a capsule, put a little water in it. I mean, it's undeniably smoother right after. So I knew that was a little bit of a Hail Mary because I was taking that internally to help for liver cleansing and kidney cleansing.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I was taking capsules of that daily.
I've never heard of using pearl powder.
Yeah, I met with several Chinese herbalists in my recovery, and one of them mainly Jing Herbs in downtown Los Angeles, George from Jing Herbs, and then Dragon Herbs on Robertson in Beverly Hills. And I was a sponge, you know. I mean, when you're using yourself as your own biggest science experiment, I mean, you'll go to any lengths. I just became obsessed with. All right, well, I'm starting to feel better. When you're that down and out, and you're just like you get that little flicker of momentum. Like, wait a minute, all right, you feel better, and then you feel better and better and better. I got addicted to that feeling of just physical and mental momentum of just getting my zest back, and that's a very important feeling, especially when you're just literally rock bottom and lucky to be alive. So. That was very encouraging. So I was like, all right, well, I just want to do this for the rest of my life. And then I started to see physical results for the topical, the mask that I was putting on. But I never had an intention to start a business. It was just out of necessity for my own recovery. But people who saw me in the ICU were just blown away.
And so where do you source all this stuff from?
So it's for the pearl powder. I use Jing Herbs pearl powder. So I'll tell the Centertech colostrum for 6-hour milking. Grass-fed colostrum.
So sorry, back up for a second. That's something I want to talk about too.
Sure.
So you it's not just colostrum. It's first 6-hour milk grass-fed colostrum. I'd like you to explain the benefits of that. But I just, as far as packaging marketing goes, I find this really interesting. Mm-hmm. Every time you add adjectives to a product, it seems like it's more valuable. In this case, it really is. But you see a lot of restaurants now that have hand-cut French fries.
Yes.
And I find that it's like hand-cut. Why does that make it more valuable? So explain about the first 6-hour milking grass-fed.
And I can go on that too. By the way, I have an ingredient deck. Like, I love it. I mean, you see these, not just salt. Go, Himalayan mind,
right? By left-handed shirt.
Yeah. I mean, there was one that even before I had business, I would get a kick out of just these little adjectives just to describe. I mean, it stands out. It helps your marketing. It does. And I was actually talking to a friend last night about sandalwood. And sandalwood's, I mean, it's in almost every one of our products. I love it. It's extremely effective. It smells good, but it's very good for the skin. But it's so expensive, and so not many people use it. But I mean, we have we don't have the big corporate overhead, so I can do whatever I want and make products that I love and that I would use. But it's in her specific sandalwood. They grow this one tree a year, and I forget where it is. I think it's Australia. And they definitely throw that in their marketing. That's brilliant.
Like the
one tree. They do a whole story on the sandalwood tree, and it's brilliant. Yeah. I mean, with my Rasul powder, I have to. I mean, I'm going to do that. I'm going to because it's like Atlas Mind and the Moroccan hills. Why not just throw it in there? There's a couple things,
but so the clays are all American source?
No. The clay. Yeah, the Rasul is from Morocco.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Right. And
so then your research, how did you come up with I'm going to try Moroccan? It's not like the easiest thing.
Right. Well, in the United States, I think they have. I believe it's Redmond clay that you can mine out in the United States. I think it's in the Northwest, Pacific Northwest, and it's good. But this particular clay, the particle size. I've been using that clay, the Rasul clay, specifically for over 10 years, and it's just one of those things that I just didn't want to switch sources up. Growing as we grow, and I'm just fascinated by clays, their mineral content.
Now I am too.
Yeah, I mean,
why are clays so good
for the mineral content? I mean, as we age, we're depleted in vital minerals from harsh environmental pollutants, just toxicities in diet, stress related. whatever it may be, it's one of those things that we need to get naturally. I mean, you can supplement with full spectrum minerals, which I still do, but also your skin being your largest organ, you really want to introduce it right back into the system topically. And so with things like the derma roller, you're able to do that. I mean, my whole treatment regimen is just derma roller, mask, serum, night cream. You know, it's just undeniably effective in cell turnover and just creating a really stimulated circulation to the surface of the skin, which, you know, I mean, I like to just feel my best going into every personal situation, business situation. I mean, for men out there, I mean, you're going to be more marketable. I mean, it's just, you know, staying young or feeling is, you know, as good as you can. And, you know, it's anti-aging is such a popular overused word. I mean, it's like you're going to age. I would say age maintenance is more
age gracefully.
Yeah, great. And just but doing it in a natural, holistic way. I mean, treating your skin like another mouth is the best way that I would like to put it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't put phenoxyethanol in my mouth. I wouldn't eat sodium benzoate. I mean, a lot of these all natural skincare brands, and it's the whole. From what I'm starting to see, especially with multi-level marketing and third-party distribution companies, that, you know, network marketing where you're recruiting people under you to keep selling and selling and selling. It's like, and the only way you're going to maintain those margins to be able to do that is just extremely dilute your ingredient decks with the water, the alcohol, the glycerin, and you're taking 80% of your. I refuse to do that. I never will, because I wouldn't use that. I wouldn't use those products. I will only make products that I, you know, am in love with. So there's a way to stand out, which is great, and that's what we do.
So, all right. So now let's get into more of the business side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does the business look like now in terms of the team, the distribution, like where is it sold, that kind of stuff. So let's start with the team. What's the team look like?
Sure. So I have I have a CFO, business partner, Steve, who was my second investor, to Dave Asprey, who is full-time with Bulletproof Nutrition. I'm sure your audience has heard of him. He's brilliant. He's been extremely helpful on the advisor side, consulting, helping make connections that are vital for this. And just having his background as an influencer is huge. Steve is my my CFO. I have a virtual assistant, director of marketing.
Where is the VA based?
The
virtual assistant.
Philippines.
Okay.
Philippines. And it's one of those things where there's a time difference, a little bit of a language barrier, mm-hmm. and to say the least. But I mean, many businesses are doing that or using that format, but it's extremely cost effective, but at the same time, I need people to sound like me when they're doing certain things, and especially something so important as customer service. So that's something that we're seeing hiccups that really are frustrating as a business owner. So,
well, but all right, so yeah, and we'll get that. So the VA, and then
executive assistant, admin. His name's Rex Pachuta. He's awesome. He's kind of like my right hand man. And then we have everything fulfilled out of a warehouse in Hayward, California, that uses robots actually to go through and hit our SKUs. And luckily, knock on wood, there have been several hiccups, but it's been okay. I would grade them 6 or 7 out of 10.
Can you say which company that is?
Yeah, Easy Post.
Oh, okay.
Easy Post.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then where is it made?
Where's
it actually made? That's the distribution you said, right?
Yes.
So
the mask is made in Nevada. The Pro Cleanser is made in Los Angeles. The supplement, Los Angeles. Serum, night cream, body lotion, moisturizer, all made in Hawaii. And
really?
Yeah.
By hand or?
Well, they harvest the beeswax and all the bee products, and I think they have 5 hives. And I went out there, threw on the beehive or the bee suit, and got in there. I wanted to see my raw ingredients, so it's awesome. I mean, when I was first coming up with my
awesome.
Yeah, thanks. No, they're really sweet people. It's a family-run business, and I just love, when I was first going into making a moisturizer. You talk to these contract manufacturers that's oh yeah, it's like baking a cake, water, glycerin. I'm like, no, that's exactly not what I want to hear. I don't want to create something that's anything like you've seen before. And they're like, oh no, we have honey. Well, you want what, Manuka honey? I'm like, it's been sitting on your shelf, like, you know, I don't know where it's been. I want something that's been produced recently. I want something fresh. I want something like, absolutely obsessed with the raw ingredient side. And so if you just add up, you know, a dream team set of ingredients, I really believe, you know, through fine tuning, it's not that easy. I mean, this took 22 tweaks to make. I mean, that's 21 phone calls to my chemist and my manufacturer.
Which one's that?
This is the moisturizer right here. It's my second product after the clay mask that I released, because, you know, just listening to the customer and just hearing what they want, what their response is and what they're looking for, and we create products, and not solely based on that, but it has a large influence on our product releases, and we listen for sure.
And so I'm just curious. There's obviously no preservatives, right?
Oh no.
Right,
so what we did add kimchi extract in a coconut filtrate, which is almost like
Seriously?
Yeah, it's an EcoCert approved. It's food grade. It's something I would eat. And so we went through all the testing. That's in our night cream. What's that?
That works as a preservative.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, because I was gonna say, if you're making it in Hawaii and shipping it like in no preservatives, like, does that create an issue? But okay, kimchi extract, great.
No, that's we have all the batch testing. We introduce yeast. We introduce mold. It's a mold inhibitor. I mean, because when you're touching something, you're introducing your own bacteria into a formula. It's just gonna happen. We actually, it's something that I wanted to stay away from, and I don't even know if I would have made the product if I would have had to go with something like the potassium sorbate or sodium benzoate or something more harsh preservative. But I'm so glad I found that. It does make sense. I mean, it's something, and I can even, let's see, it's lusoidal liquid, antmicide. I mean, it's essentially like it has a little mild probiotic effect for your skin, which is actually becoming more and more popular in its own right. And for people out there, that you get a really good preservative. You're going to preserve your active ingredients as it is, and you can preserve the benefits of those ingredients in doing so. So that's really important too. That's something I kind of left out in the beginning, and it's important to just get the most benefits out of your raw ingredients as it is. So you have to preserve them.
So now backing up again. So essentially, operationally, you've got a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and then you've got 2 admin type people in person with you.
Yeah, one.
Oh, okay,
one.
One.
And we're hiring one more, and we have a director of marketing who is remote, and Steve, our CFO.
Okay, the director of marketing. Where's
He's in Orlando.
Okay.
He's in Orlando.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty small team.
Very small team,
yeah.
And we need to go. I mean, so that's.
Yeah, so let's talk about what do you see as the, 2 things I want to focus on is, one is what you're doing day to day right now in the business, and then also what you see as the challenge for growing.
Okay.
So what do you, like day to day, what are you doing? And I know you said you're jumping into things you shouldn't be, so include those.
Yeah,
okay, so what are the things you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, okay, so I mean, I have control over info at, support at, Andy at, inquiries, right? So at Alitura Naturals, our private email address. And so, I mean, I'm obsessed with that. They all come to me, but I mean, they all go through me. I'm CC'd through all of those, but they all go to my VA and also Rex, my operations assistant.
How do they do that? Are they using Gmail?
Help Scout.
So, okay.
So they go through there, and then so our virtual assistant monitors them, and through our FAQ response, we get general questions that can usually be answered by her. How often do you recommend using the mask? We get that asked pretty often. What do you recommend following the mask with? And then it's questions like that are usually found on the FAQ sheet, but we're happy to answer them again. But so she handles those. If there's something she can't handle, or a virtual assistant, that she directs that to Rex, and if there's something that he can't get, he'll direct that to me. So I'm like the third chain. If there's something those 2 can't handle.
Could you think of an example, something that you would have to get kicked all the way up to you?
Yeah. So cystic acne with the mask. That's a tough one. And so would you use that? Because every individual is different. I don't know how their diet is. I don't know, because that's one of those things with the mask. It pulls a lot to the surface. So sometimes you're going to go through a little bit of pulling all of that gunk from maybe use products that you've used before that are a little toxic.
It sounds really gross.
Yeah.
I mean, like in a good way, but it's like, yeah.
But I mean, something like that, and it's very delicate. Your skin, this whole situation is so personal to me. So I just want to make sure that the care is given back and responded back to the customer, the potential customer.
So you don't have live chat on your website?
We have, see bottom right there.
But it's not live chat. Right, so they could leave a message and someone will get
right.
them.
Live chat. So what? Then here's a question for you. I mean, when our VA is not on, that's what they get. And maybe I need to get a better VA because sometimes it was.
So no, don't worry about that. So there's a system called Intercom, which is similar to Help Scout in some ways. So Intercom is a shared inbox of sorts.
Okay.
You can use it for customer service. You can use it for a lot of different communications. But effectively, you can have all those email addresses come into Intercom, and you can have your Facebook message on your business page go in there as well. Twitter can go in there, and live chat on the website all comes into one place. You can even have text messaging come in there if you don't have a text-based thing. And then anybody on your team can answer that question. So what you're doing is you're distributing the ability to answer those. So it's not that the VA is level 1, Rex is level 2, you're level 3. It's a little bit more like you're all on deck as needed. And with 3 people, you can essentially like up your response time massively. And live chat is really important. It is. Yeah. And the FAQs are a really good one too, because with Intercom, what it'll do is you can have the FAQs, and when people ask, how often should I use it? The bot in Intercom will immediately be like, I think you're asking about this, and it'll suggest the article automatically before somebody even gets to them. Okay. Plus, you can do a lot more stuff. So like with your leave a message thing here, which is if you're doing OLARC, I see that. You can't do like specific pop-ups necessarily based on if they've been to the website before. There's a lot of benefits to using it, and it's got a mobile app. So if you did want to jump in, that's okay. The other thing that's nice about it is that the VA can have an issue with a question with the prospect or whatever, and if they have a question for you or Rex, they can ask in the chain there without the person seeing it. You can discuss it right there, and then someone can respond. And it's huge for communication. Funny story. Well, luckily it's funny now. I mean, with Help Scout, that's huge with Intercom. We're going to get into that for sure. I accidentally responded in a forward to Rex, or my assistant, and it went to the customer. Luckily, it was just like, hey, we need to take care of this immediately. And the assistant saw that because not the assistant, but the customer saw that, and it was directed with the forwarding through our private email address. And since we're already signed up with Help Scout, there's a protocol that I wasn't assigned to. I mean, that was right at the beginning, so the customer saw that response, but no, it's good to know. Yeah, well, so Intercom's a great tool because it's inherently scalable. So you can have 3 people on it, and then if you have 40 people on it, it's the same kind of concept. So we actually use it for teams to communicate, and they can communicate internally and externally. Because one of the things that's really important in most businesses that we work with is to have separation between internal communication and external communication. And this kind of bridges the gap. So how are you communicating with the VA and with Rex usually? Is it email or? Email. Okay. So that's something that would be an issue also. So as you scale, you're going to want a different tool. It could be Slack. We did Slack. It was just, we should have just spent a day and just gone over it and cleared it out. But things are slammed right now. I'm just trying to stay on top with things like this and going out and advancing the business through podcasts and different meetings. But I definitely need to get, more updated with things like Slack, Intercom. Well, so while we're doing this talk, I'm going to give you 1,000 ideas, so you don't have to worry about that. And then afterwards, I can help you with a bit more of a strategic plan for this. Sure. So that it doesn't sound like a barrage of information. Oh, no, I love it. So Intercom would be really huge for you guys. And then it doesn't have to be Slack, but there really needs to be a separate tool for internal versus external. Email is a really bad tool for internal communication because a lot of times internal communication tends to be more sort of brainstorming, more longer discussion, whereas external communication is much more transactional, such as a client saying, how often should I use this product? You give them the answer. Much more transactional. So psychologically, you need to have a separation of where those things happen. And then you are able to do it mobile, and because I know you're traveling a lot, and it makes it so that a smaller team can have a much bigger, much more comprehensive presence. So again, Intercom would be really, really huge for that. The other thing with Intercom and Slack is that you can start to integrate a lot of information and data into it. So how are you process? Like, how are you taking orders? Are you using Stripe or Shopify? Stripe. It's Stripe, okay. Stripe, we have a WordPress, WooCommerce site. Yeah. We have Shipping Easy, which is a format that takes takes the orders and then sends them off to EasyPost, and that's all automated through and then shipped through USPS. DHL for international,
FedEx and UPS. It depends on location, best rates for that particular, for Easy Post.
Yeah, and that part's fine. The Easy Ship is fine. There's another service called Dollar Fulfillment, which is really, really good. It's $1 per item shipped.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I'll show you that one too. So we'll talk about we'll talk about the fulfillment.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're using, so it's dollar fulfillment, picked, packed, shipped for $1. So this is what a lot of the bigger internet marketing, not internet marketing, but info products and things like that. A lot of companies are using dollar fulfillment. It's a very, very good one. So there's that, and if you're using Stripe, then what's nice is that the Stripe data actually can be pulled into Intercom. So if somebody is chatting with you on live chat on your website, you'll see their entire history right there with the profile.
Order history, or website history.
No. Well, that too, and also how much they've bought from you, if from Stripe,
right.
And you can even have it show like their most recent order. So all of that stuff is right there as like a customer profile.
Huge.
It's really huge,
Yeah.
And it'll even automatically pull in. So if somebody goes to your website and they pull up on your live chat and they say like, "Hey, how often should I use the product?" Without any other information, we'll know where they are, like what kind of browser they're using, and then it'll say like, leave your email address to get a response later or something. They put in their email address, it'll automatically pull in the data from that, so it'll now know what their name is. It'll know what their Twitter is and how many Twitter followers they have and like where they live. Yeah.
And add it to our list.
And add it to your list.
Huh.
So all of that stuff would happen automatically in the background, and it would just help you keep track. And again, you need to have these systems and processes in place so that you can scale. It's
right.
one of the things that we want to be able to empower the team that's around you so that you can make yourself replaceable. So dollar fulfillment, I think, would be something to consider.
Absolutely. Yeah. Is that including shipping?
No. Of course
okay,
not.
I was going to say.
No, shipping on top of that, but it's $1 per item.
Yeah. That's
and they're very reliable.
That's huge.
Okay, so
where are they based out of?
I think they're in California.
Okay.
Pretty sure they're in California. Idaho. Okay.
That's a town I've never heard of either.
Hayden, Idaho.
Perfect.
Yeah, so they'll do the fulfillment and everything. And
nice.
So that would be something to discuss as well. And then as far as like marketing, well, I actually backing up again. So what else are you having the VA do?
I have her go through, she handles most of our posts, but sometimes, I need it to sound like me. And
she writes them?
She will just with certain pictures, she'll go through. If I'm going through, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, doing that daily, it's just, it takes me about an hour a day to generate pretty good content. And I usually do for like, if it's a post that I'm really fired up about, and I'll do, or blog post or something like that. But if it's just general, I need to post daily, at least on those sites, just try, get eyes on the site and hopefully cold traffic as well. But, if I'm spending an hour, and if you think that's worth it, maybe an hour and a half, it's something that every day for me to do, I'll continue to do it.
No.
But I didn't think so either. Sometimes she'll just go through, and I'll give her an example. She'll watch me in some of the posts that I do, and try to sound like it. I think I have another buddy of mine that has like a team following him around and talk. That just kind of writes examples of posts, trying to sound like him, and she. It's a work in progress. So I've been ending up handling a lot of the posting on those different sites, which is, it's just still kind of new to, the business is still in its kind of infancy stage. So I just want to make sure that everything is done in my voice, and done correctly and tastefully, not just a picture of a clay and telling the benefits. I really want it to be dynamic, and sometimes we use customer pictures of using our products, and that's fun too. Frank's Coffee Scrub did a really good, I don't know if he's still doing it, but that was one of the things, like turn it, send a picture into Frank's Coffee Scrub, or I think it was Frank's Coffee Scrub, and then, to be posted in our gallery. And that's just nice way to engage with the customers.
Sure, of course. But so it sounds like, so there are 6 levels of delegation. Mm-hmm. And the very top level, the surface level is do what I say. Level 6 is just get it done, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's a couple levels in between there. It sounds like you're operating at a very level 1 kind of area. So it doesn't like you're essentially just telling your VA what they should post and how. There's not a lot of
Right.
they're not doing much growth in there, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So there's a marketplace called Growth Geeks, and they have these different gigs for like social media and stuff. And for $349 a month, you can have somebody managing all of your social media and actually growing it.
Wow.
So that's an example.
Yeah.
And there are certain things that are specialized kinds of services that you can actually get done fairly cheaply that you don't want a generalist to be doing.
Okay.
Like a VA. And you can still use that to grow properly. So, okay, so let's keep going. So what else is the VA doing?
Between, Instagram will go through, she'll go through and comment. It's just more, you go through and follow certain people that may be in the industry, certain bloggers, wellness, beauty experts, things like that, comment. So then they see Alitura Naturals in the comment stream, and then hopefully go back to our page, and then hopefully go back to the site. Between that, customer inquiries, we're very delicate on what we hand off to. We just hired her. For the longest part, it was just myself and Rex doing that. This is up just to a few months ago, so we're handling the bulk of that.
Okay, so it sounds like you might not need that VA after this conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, the great.
It happens. Yeah. So that certainly happens. So all right. So now, what's another challenge now that you see in the business in terms of growing it? Is distribution or what?
So affiliate marketing. I would like your advice just on acquiring a customer for a physical product. We haven't really got into retargeting. We're introducing auto ship now, which is great. That's good.
Right.
The subscription products.
Very good.
It came way too late, but it's just it's going to be introduced, I believe, this week. And I just want to see hear what you have to say about affiliate marketing and certain payouts. Is it worth, say our mask is $59? Is it worth the payout to, paying $70 to get that customer? We haven't done any of that. It's been pretty organic as far as just doing podcasts, certain with large influencers, giving an affiliate code, having them hand it out. Hopefully they promote it, and then just watching the growth from that and seeing the response from that, and see what influencers have the best, more of a trusted response than others, and just kind of gathering data on that and then reaching out to more podcasts. But really it's been all podcasts, and we haven't even dove into that yet.
Okay, so then if you're on a podcast and are you just telling people to go to Alitura Natural or Alitura and that's it?
But toward at the end, that's not the only reason I'm doing.
No. But there's got to be a call to action.
Right.
So is it just to go to the main website?
Yeah, we'll do a discount code, and we'll give an affiliate link to the certain influencer, and then that's a good way to track it through that model. And then we'll monitor spikes and traffic and Google Analytics and things like that.
But again, it's generally you're telling people just to go to the main website, right? There's no special page for them or anything like that, right?
Right.
Okay.
It's an affiliate link though that we'll design that goes to the main website.
Right, but so when they get there, it's not look at this one product.
Right.
Okay. So
would you be more specific? Would you to a certain product?
So here's ideas.
Yeah.
So one of the things is that you just in the beginning of this interview you told me a lot of things that I didn't know about skin. Like I told you, I've never heard of the pearl powder thing, and I'm aware of a lot of this stuff, so I've never heard of that. So there's a few different things that you can do here. One of which is education around this, and you can offer an educational product. So there's the famous examples of things. It's make sure don't buy another skincare product until you read this, because this is going to tell you the 10 things that you should be aware of that a lot of skincare products have that ours don't, or not even that. It's honestly, it's much more educational than anything, because people might not understand the benefits of clay. They might not understand the benefits of something like pearl powder. And so a lot of people, as you know, are buying products that have things that say they're natural, but they're not. Yeah. And it's bad for them, and they're not aware of it. So you can usually attract a lot more people with that kind of information. So, for example, do you have a newsletter?
So what we do is we have an email capture of a 31-page ebook when they within I think it's 3 to 5 seconds as soon as they pop on the homepage. Now that it's very informative. It's good. Is that too much? Are there more? Maybe I should enhance the keywords.
What's the name
Don't
of
buy
it?
another. It's just the natural path to perfect skin.
Yeah, so to me that's a little too vague.
Okay.
Right, because
Sure.
I think that there's probably a lot of people that say things like that.
Right.
It's not specific enough to why.
Ah.
This is something that you can test very easily.
Yeah.
It could be like sign up for this newsletter to get like the 12 things that you should never have in your skincare products, like to have that checklist.
Right.
So that it's not that you want to do like something with fear, but a lot of times the negative side of things is more impactful than the positive side of things for people.
Yeah.
And again,
it's more clickable.
yeah.
I get suckered into it almost daily. Like, you're not going to believe. Click.
Yeah, right. And then this happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, but it's true because there are products. I think that you're probably contending with a few things. One of which is that you probably have people who've used a product for a long time, and it's good enough. Like, why would I switch? But they don't realize that it's actually not doing what they want, and it's hurting them in some cases, maybe because of what's in it. So for example, do you know anything about Kirkland products?
Kirkland, yes.
So how are those in terms of their skincare products?
I don't, but I do know that
because it's a pretty good brand. So.
it's a decent brand, and that's interesting. I mean, it's so cheap, right? But they have good almonds. You go to the source. I mean, yeah, it's like the generic brand for Costco. They're solid. They're okay. I haven't looked at their skincare products though. I haven't been to Costco for a while. I didn't even know they had them.
Yeah,
I'm sure they.
Well, that's the funny thing. So I just did. I'm like,
they probably just private label something. I mean, it's just like
they
whole
do.
like the Trader Joe's vodka of the gods. I think they cut into right, and it's like supposedly Svedka or not Svedka, but Absolute.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, that's apparently
thing.
Yeah. Trader Joe's is like it's exactly the product. But so the reason I asked about Kirkland was, first of all, people will probably laugh if they watch my podcast. I'm kind of obsessed with Costco and as a business, but Kirkland as a brand loyalty thing, they kind of have to have really good products because the whole point is like you could buy a Kirkland shirt and then be like, oh, they make body lotion. I like Kirkland. I'll try it. Mm-hmm. So, but there's so much exposure for their brand in that case.
Yeah.
But I was just curious how if you know anything about Kirkland's stuff.
I'm definitely looking now. I'm sure
you
do.
I'm very curious. But so the point though again is there's a lot of marketing things that are really about education, and it's that's it. It's just like these are the things that you need to have in your skincare products. These are the things you definitely don't want to have in your skincare products, and that could be a one-page PDF lead magnet that you have that people sign up and they get that. I think you'd probably get a much bigger uptake on something like that. The other thing is a 31-page ebook. Most people are probably not going to read it.
Right.
So, and the goal, of course, eventually is for them to get to see that your product is something that is actually a good one. And you're being honest. You're explaining. It's not just a sales pitch. You're explaining why it's a good product because it doesn't have all these things in it that are really dangerous for you.
Mm-hmm. Maybe throw on a discount code if first-time customer.
Yeah,
or something
and that's
like
fine
that.
too.
Yeah.
But something like that, I think, would probably be really good in terms of growing the list. And I didn't see the pop-up here, but that should be something that's much more prevalent, I would say.
Yeah, it popped up when you went there, and yeah, I think you clicked out of it.
Well, but even so, I mean, I'm not like a website conversion expert, but you can have something that just stays right there the whole time. Or
really?
Yeah. So like if you were to go to, actually, let's take David's example. I bet he's got this done the right way.
So and I do have to ask, the website, the shirtless photo of me, we're getting a little flack of that, and I don't mind at all. As far as like, I just want to get the best website made. I thought that was a clean shot of like,
yeah. So subscribe to stay connected, so that just becomes more prevalent. It's not a pop-up, it's going to be there. There's any number of examples like that.
I wonder if he has a pop-up in addition to that.
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does. I would. Goop has ads, so they're not going to. Oh yeah, wait, there you go. Pops right up, and that's called a welcome mat, which means that it takes over the screen, and then you put the mail in. So you really want to be capturing those email addresses.
Absolutely,
the best thing that you can be doing.
Yeah.
And then you were saying about the website. What? About the shirtless thing. Yeah.
So, and I can definitely take constructive criticism for sure. We're up here for media, and my publicist told me yesterday that it was just like it's something that we need to address. She's hearing from clients.
So it's funny. I think it shows you have really, really good skin. To me, actually having the woman there with you makes it look weird. Like it almost makes this look like it's the product for couples for things. I mean that would be my.
Oh, hey, all right.
But I mean, otherwise you just look like you have amazing skin.
Thank you. I mean, the reason why we wanted to show that it's a unisex skincare line.
Of course, obviously, but
and.
You've heard of strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. So it doesn't. You don't necessarily have to have the woman there to explain that it's unisex.
Okay.
That's just my thinking. I would say, but yeah, again, I think you're showing that you've got really good skin, obviously from the product. So
what about so the before photo? In the past, we had a shot of me in the ICU. I can pull it up right now. Actually, if you go to About Us, in the Alitura Naturals site.
Yep.
And you see that on the left. Now,
I would not put that on the homepage, but that's
really
good. Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't put the ICU picture on the homepage.
You should, if you would have seen our first. If you'd have seen our first, that's what a lot of people said. Our first site on Shopify. We used Shopify before we started with WordPress. It was great. It was very clear. Streamlined the orders pretty quickly and easy to use, easy to code in, things like that. But for a blog format or platform, it was just apparently there's more of a space for that in WordPress.
So, yes.
What are your favorite sites? Squarespace, Woo,
for making a website?
Yeah, physical products.
I mean, Shopify is great.
Really?
It's just they've got such a good ecosystem, and they can plug into all sorts of automations. A lot of the fulfillment houses plug right in. I think Shopify is probably one of the easiest ones.
Okay, and so with hiring.
Yeah, we'll talk about hiring too.
Yeah.
So, but one other thing for the website, there's this tool called UseProof. Have you heard of this?
UseProof, no.
Okay, so this is a really cool thing. So what it does is you get a pop-up. This is based on actual sales. So you'll get a pop-up here. Sally recently bought your product. So and if you're on a website, it'll keep popping up.
Okay.
So it'll be like, John in Idaho just bought the skin cream, whatever.
I've seen that on other sites, and I like that. Our team decided against it because the load time apparently slows it down.
Oh, I mean, this one's pretty good. There's a few like that. This is a relatively new one called UseProof, which I think
that's the one I think they use. I love that. When I see that, as a buyer, I forget who it was using that. It may have been Natural Stacks. Natural Stacks, they make the Siltep.
Yep.
I think they use it. And I want to get that immediately. Yeah. And I also wanted to get just a little icon, bottom right, hey, let me know if I can, it's like a live chat. So those are the two things, and like we talked about, and we're going to get that with Intercom. But
yes, exactly. So I'll show you what that looks like too. So this is my site, but there it is right there. So that pops up. You can ask a question, and then
what did it look like before you clicked on it? I just want to see if it catches the eye.
But it's just that. But you can
have
a
little
pop
envelope.
Up. Yep.
Okay.
But you can have it automatically pop up with a message.
Do they know it's live?
So it says right here, it typically replies under 10 minutes.
Okay.
But it'll, just like when you're texting with iMessage, if we start writing back, they'll see that we're writing.
Oh, the little, nice.
And if you have FAQ articles, the bot will respond immediately, and it'll say, is this what you were looking for? And then somebody can just jump right in. But it'll ask for their email address, you'll start to capture the information right away.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the color scheme, by the way.
That's our choice. Yeah. So you can customize that.
No, I mean just the whole site.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
It's catching, the charcoal.
So Natural Stacks, I'm sure they have something like that too. Yeah, we'll see if that pops up. So they have Facebook Messenger there, which is Intercom will bring in the Facebook Messenger stuff too from your Facebook page. Mm-hmm. So all right, so hiring. Who do you need to hire?
So would it be, just curious, would you do more of a, say if it's remote? How do you monitor hours worked? Would you focus more on task related?
What are they hiring for? What are they doing?
So this would be someone equal to my other assistant Rex is more operations. We need a second him, basically. We need a second version of him.
And Rex is in person?
Rex, yes, he's in Venice. They all work. We all work in Los Angeles, aside from Jesse, who's in Orlando.
And so, what is Rex doing primarily?
Rex primarily is expediting orders to Easy Post, and say if we have certain BOLs that need to be listed, Easy Post is our fulfillment center. Mm-hmm. And so, if he'll just inventory, staying on top of inventory concerns, Amazon, Marketplace Valet, being on Amazon in different countries as well. I mean, it's a lot of work. He's doing that daily, as well as customer service, fine-tuning posts. He's a graphic designer. He's doing a lot of our artistic shots, product shots. But we need him to focus more. I mean, media, the video. I want to build a YouTube presence. I mean, I'm doing quirky stuff all day with derma rollers, masks, and night cream, serums, you name it. I mean, just the researching and things like that I think, they're out there. I mean, you see influencers with hundreds of thousands of subscribers and I feel like we can be one of those, especially because, we have a brand. That's what I do. And I really want to expand that. So the goal is to get someone to take a little more responsibility off of his hands so we can focus more on purely video content, getting really good dynamic video, images, things like that are eye-catching. I really like Ben Greenfield's content, love Dave's content. I don't do enough. I don't even think I've done an Instagram story. There are people love this stuff in the skincare space, and there's a lot of information that people don't know, and I have a lot of tips and information to give. So I want to step up our content, and I think Rex to focus solely on that with me, and then have someone alongside him, have him train them, and then have someone, and then it'll be just them beside each other, and then. But if you were in I know you don't know a lot about my business right now, but did you have anything? I wake up, I check emails, I'm 6 to 6, take a nap, work out, and then I'm 9 to 12, and I do this, same thing, it's just when you're obsessed, it's just, it's what I love to do. And I just, it's, what would you think that my time is best used to advance the brand and business right now? What would you do if you were me?
Content.
Okay.
100% of your time should be spent on content.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that you should be educating, you should be promoting. You should be educating because people have to understand what the benefits of using the product, how you use them, interesting things that you're doing with it, like what,
Oh, it's all day.
It's all, yeah.
I just had a little camera. It's like, man, I can't do this. So, as far as actually what you're doing.
You can.
Maybe I can.
You look at some, Casey Neistat is?
No.
So Casey Neistat is a vlogger, and he's probably one of the best there is, I think, because he's an actual cinematographer. But you can learn so much by watching 4 or 5 of his videos. I love his stuff, but that alone probably give you some ideas for the content. But you could just you're living an interesting life, so I think that would be the best place for you to share that. You're gonna then have the ideas that then a proper team can execute on. So you shouldn't be dealing with the operations.
Ideas as far as
as new products, new venues for it, ways to use it, ways to promote it, people who would benefit from it. That's what it's your baby.
Yeah.
But
okay.
So you shouldn't be involved in the operations.
Okay, that's great. That's the goal for sure.
There's no way to scale the business if you're involved in the operations. You become a bottleneck automatically.
Oh man, I'm changing my. Sometimes it's, it's a little frustrating, but just responding to emails, and there are a lot of questions that my team has. And
yeah, but so then gather them up and every week do a video answering questions.
Okay.
Right.
It's so okay. So on the spot though, say if it's time sensitive.
Well, if it's time sensitive, then you give them the answer. But still, that week you could do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live and answer the 5 questions of the week or something that people had about about the product or about skincare.
Yeah, and that's content in its own.
Yeah, and then the other thing then is that if you do that video, you have a number of things. So if you can take that one video, you can turn that into a podcast. Just strip the audio and make it a podcast. You can turn that into a blog post, into 10 other pieces of content, social media posts, all from that one video.
Right.
Yeah. So you should basically be coming up with innovative ways to spread the word about the product. That's really what you should be doing. And the other thing I was going to mention. So also for Rex, you're going to want to take a bit of, you just listed all the things that he's doing, but we want to take a bit of an inventory of what he's actually doing and how his time is being spent. Mm-hmm. Because once you put a process to it, then that's how we can start to offload that from him. You said he's doing graphic design. There's a company that we use called Design Pickle. Have you heard of them?
No.
So Design Pickle is a wonderful company. It's $370 a month for unlimited graphic design, and the design
and editing.
Yeah, and revisions. Yeah.
Wow.
So the the designers are in the Philippines. You get a dedicated designer who understands your brand, and that's who we use for everything.
And they're probably rated. You could go through them.
They're great.
Yeah.
No, it's all under their company. So like they manage the whole process. So we do all of our infographics, all of our social media posts, images, PowerPoint, everything is done by Design Pickle for us for $370 a month. So Rex should not be doing that.
They're gonna have their hands full for sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's unlimited. So just load them up.
I mean, because it's it's videos and images all day, before, afters. I mean, skincare, that's everything. So
yeah, and you should have somebody who's managing your social media specifically, because it's not expensive to have somebody just doing that, and they'll do it really well. The stuff
that's another question. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
So if, would you recommend? I mean, with a virtual assistant, there may be a language barrier. I need them to be clean, clear, articulate, crisp with their language, and
well, I'm not clear that you need a VA right now.
Right, yeah, okay. So, say with someone with a social media manager, would that be someone that you would outsource? Get someone
that was like Growth Geeks I was saying before for $349 a month.
Oh, Growth Geeks. Okay.
Yeah, just for social media.
Oh, that's
and they'll be US based, and they will just do social media stuff for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So you can piecemeal some of this stuff really well and have somebody who's just really good and goes deep, and that you're not paying full time, and they just do that one thing.
So Growth Geeks, and they have, say, arts, beauty, entertainment, sports. They have people that just specialize in certain.
So it's the specific social media gig in there. They'll have experience in the thing that you need. They'll get the right person on that. Yeah. Yeah.
How much a month, you said?
For 3 accounts, it's $349 a month. If you need to do more accounts, it's like $449 for 4. But yeah.
Man, that's sometimes a couple days for us.
Yeah, right, exactly. So, and the thing is that most people don't understand in your position is that, in your position in terms of where you are with the company, is that you, when you free up an hour of your time, the results are like tenfold. I mean, there's so much that can be done, right? Yeah. Because you're going to be able to take another sales call or another partnership call, or just have a new idea and come up with new content, and then we can start spidering that up. Because that one video could be a month's worth of content.
Right.
Another thing that an exercise I like to go through with clients is an exercise to plan out your entire year of content in about a half an hour. And so you don't have to even make decisions about it. You know what you're going to be posting on what days, and how, like, the arc of things, the events you're doing, and how those tie into it.
So it's perfect timing on that one. So I mean, it's just been back and forth. We just started planning out our posts I'm like, why don't we just spend an hour and get 7 done for the week, rather than spending 30 to 45 minutes every single day going, no, the image isn't clean. Fill out the space, or fill out the
so the truth is, you don't necessarily need a much bigger team at all.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you could probably make the team a little bit smaller as long as you get these processes in place. And like, if Rex is dealing with easy posts on fulfillment stuff, I'd have to understand more of what those issues are, but I would look at another fulfillment company like Dollar Fulfillment.
Right.
It might be more reliable.
Absolutely. I mean, the shipping has been 8 to 10 business days, which is just too long for me.
Yes. That's way too long.
Expedited shipping 3 to 5. That's not expedited.
No.
Expedited should be 1 to 2 to 3 tops. The rates are okay. And then just lost inventory. They're very unorganized. Dollar Shipment is getting a phone call. I mean, as soon as I get back to or an email, as soon as I can. I mean, that's something that we absolutely have to do.
Yeah. So. I think that's a lot of information for now.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to talk to you more about this off the recording. But
yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
So where do you want to lead people to check out more information?
Sure. So it's alituranaturals.com. That's ALITURANATURALS.com. And I'd like to give you and your following a discount. And we can just go just go Mizell.
Okay, perfect.
At 20% off the entire store. And then also, I just really appreciate you having me on. I mean, I'm serious. I'm a sponge. I mean, all of this is stuff that we really needed. It's something that can absolutely slow the growth, and sometimes even to put a business under, as far as just relying too much and taking too much responsibility on, and as well as being frustrating to the business owner. And I'm a definite example of that. But it's a battle, because you're so grateful of having something, and reminding yourself of that. And then there's frustration that because some things just can't get figured out because of the level of execution that we are, that we expect. And so to streamline this process is something that I really need and that I want. And so I really appreciate your time for meeting with me.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us today on the Less Doing podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share with your friends. For more information about Ari and his groundbreaking methods, please visit us online at lessdoing.com and on social media at Ari Mizell. We'll see you next week.